Another red light. Let's see if I can make this light. Yep. I'll make this. This path sure is convenient. I got 4 seconds. This is 7th Ave. Hurry here. There's another red light. There we go. Green light, 2 seconds, woo! Oh, they tore down. Caesar's Steakhouse used to be there. I didn't pause at this light. And this is the last of the dedicated bike path. Just a block or two of road to navigate until you're in Princess Island Park. Yeah, a couple stop signs from here, 4 ways. An Eau Claire Market used to be there, but it's to my right. It's gone. YWCA is still there. Once I get up here, I'm going to pause till I get into the park. So here it breaks off into pedestrian, which is straight ahead, and this is the cycle path, the bike path. Pedestrian is to my right. I'm heading west. And I'll probably get up here and then turn around and go back east. Little food trucks here and there. So I'm just sitting in Princess Island Park, and Jeff, there's the Calatrava Bridge that you wanted to see. That spans from Princess Island Park over to Kensington, over there, across the Bow River. I'm going to go across that in a bit. I'm just going to have a bite to eat. Usually I sit over there at the very end of the island. But this is the far west end of the island. I'm not sure how far it stretches. Maybe a kilometer or two, the island. Maybe more, I don't know. So there's some rafters on the Bow. When I grew up in Winnipeg, that wasn't common. You wouldn't see that on the Red or the Assiniboine, but maybe nowadays. You see that a lot here on the Elbow River as well on a hot day. Here's some wave boarders. The sun has come out. Yesterday was beautiful, 26 degrees, and it's a bit humid because of all the rain we've had. Today is pretty much the same. It started out really sunny and then the cloud cover. And there's the bridge. Now I'm pretty sure this is a shared path coming up here when you want to cross this bridge. Yeah, there's little cycle signs on the road here, and then shared. A lot of those rental scooters. So now we're going to cross. And I was just sitting over there. Just gonna pull up on the side here. So yeah, I was just sitting right over there, and that's Memorial Drive. That goes east-west. And you have an option of riding the bike path on this side. If you took that side this way, you get all the way out to Edworthy Park and then eventually Bowness. And that's Kensington, the area over there. So you can take either side, and it basically all the way south to Fish Creek, you've got the option of either side. Depending on where you're going, this side can be really busy because it's close to downtown through this core. So I'm just going to pedal across the bridge. The center part here where I'm going on to is for bikes only. The two side walks are for pedestrians. And looks like some kind of major construction happening along here. This city is like non-stop construction. So you see the PCL hoarding. Looks like the path is totally closed over here. So it's been a couple of years since I've been here. And not sure what they're doing. If that's for the green line, maybe, I don't know. There is a green line LRT upgrade happening in the city, so it could be for that. I don't know. Well, that sucks. Can't go this way on this side. And this is all... It would be nice to kind of go to Kensington, but you get the idea. Once I get past 10th Street there, I could keep pedaling and that would go to Edworthy and then Bowness. So, and over here, that's the westernmost point of downtown. More kayakers and rafters on the river. I think I'll just head back over and I'm going to start pedaling east towards the weir on the Bow River towards Englewood. So I'll just do one shot through here as I pedal. It's my first time wearing the helmet cam, like the GoPro on the helmet. I have a little tiny mini camera too, but it doesn't have a stabilizer. It's just a cheap $100 mini cam. 4K, but it just doesn't have stabilizer. So I just have to pay attention to the signs. Apparently looking at this sign, I can go here. It's shared. That's pedestrian only. This is just shared. The pedestrian path is really nice. It's like concrete slabs or something like that. Always shoulder check. I'll stop it for a minute. And I might do this in spurts because, you know, GoPros can get hot when you're running in 4K. So I'll do clips. It'd be nice to do a constant clip from here to Englewood, but that's a good 20-minute or more half-hour ride. So as I pause, in order to showcase the entire ride, I'll have to stop my bike as well, or you'll be missing portions. And downtown is to my right, and the Bow River is to my left. This long wooden thing here is a long bench to sit on along the pedestrian side there. And yeah, the entire riverfront walk is beautiful, as is Prince's Island Park. You know what, I might even venture over there. Jeff and I went there, but I think it was just after a festival, maybe the folk festival, and they still had stanchions and fencing up. And so, and I think portions of this up here are still under construction. This is where Eau Claire Market used to be. We got these little beach sort of things here. Jeff, you and I were here when we passed through. Must be a week and a half ago. I am going to cross over. I'll just show a little bit of this side. I hope I have my camera angled okay on my helmet. I did a test at home and it seemed alright. And it has a pretty wide angle view. So there's more of the pedestrian path there. They have really nice rectangular, like oblong paved stones inset. And the bike path where this fellow should be is just asphalt. And I'll just do a quick look back this way. There's downtown. I'll get a shot of this side. And that's what makes it an island. This portion of the Bow River junctions up there where I was sitting, and it comes through here and comes out the other side, and the Bow River is over there. And it's actually Prince's Island, not Princess Island as many people seem to pronounce it. It's named after a guy named Prince, Joel Prince or something, but he owned a lot of this land, and it used to be a sawmill, you know, 130, 140 years ago or more. Hard to believe we're already a quarter of the way through the 21st century, so sounds weird when I say that, doesn't it? So, yeah, Jeff, this is all opened up now. When we were here before, it was all cordoned off over there. So I'll do a little ride. Oh, look at all the geese over here. I'm just going to circle over here and circle back. Canadian chicken cobras. And straight ahead is sort of a nature area that's they don't look after it, they just let it kind of grow natural. It's like a wetland, but I won't go up there. And that's the east end of the island. Gonna go this way. Yeah, they do a really good job of looking after everything here. Even in the winter, everything is cleared, snow is cleared. There's plenty of beautiful places to have a picnic down here. I've come here many times. There's even a guy on a hammock there. I'm just going to go out to the Bow River. This is like a suspension bridge. Looks like they need to resurface this. I'm sure they will. I'll just go midway.
Oh, okay. So it was the
Usually the river is a little clearer. It's just picking up some sediment. And it's glacier fed, so just like out in Banff, you get that turquoise lake that's coming from the sediment, from the melt of the snow in the mountains and the elevation. Yeah, usually you can see bottom here and it's clear. I kind of like the greenish. And there's downtown straight ahead. Wow, this skyline has changed so much since I moved here 48 years ago. Well, it's half a century, it's bound to change, but I'm gonna sit up here and let my camera cool down. I'll find a shady spot on the grass. Yeah, maybe I'll just cut over here. I see a spot. I like these little bridges too. There's a little kiddie playground over there if you got kids. And this is usually where I sit, in this sort of area. So, I'm just gonna put my bike here. Going to shoot a little clip just so I have the angle right. I think the previous footage I shot, I had the camera pointing down a little bit too low. Not that I want to see the sky, but it'd be nice to a little bit higher. I think this might be better. I'll walk out here a little ways just to see. Granted, I'm walking, I'm going to be on a bike, which will be a little bit higher, but I don't think that won't change the angle. So a multitude of picnic tables through here and places to sit. Straight ahead is the Princess Island main stage. That's been there for at least 50 years. When I moved here in '77, Burton Cummings had a performance here. And he played on that stage, but so have countless bands. But they also have other stages set up during festivals. So this is still kind of a mess from when all the trucks were here during the folk festival. Everything was torn up and whatever. I'm just going to head back this way past the River Cafe, and I'm going to head east. I was sitting just beyond that stage earlier. And I'll just show you quickly. This is that canal, or the offshoot of the bow. I'll just go straight ahead here. That's a nice little cafe restaurant there. We had a company function there maybe 20 years ago, I'd say. And all the way along here you've got these little lookouts. Some geese blocking the path. He's hissing. Cobra chickens. I'm gonna zip across here. And you know, I already saw, actually I will go here again. And we're not going to go through downtown. I gotta get onto the cycle path. I believe that's here. Downtown Riverwalk. So this was Eau Claire, plus there was some condos here, and they're repurposing all that land for the LRT Green Line expansion. Hang on, I'm gonna go over here. Maybe not. Not much to see. Well, I guess so. And this kind of takes you into that wetland that I was talking about. In the winter, they have that all dammed off and it's flooded with a skating rink over there. Beaver dams over here. There's actually a downtown beaver and his family. You see from time to time. So yeah, the entire area over here is like a wetland preserve, and there's a large pond in the middle with benches and stuff. Yeah, we'll turn around. I like these properties through here. So much development has gone on through here, you would not believe if you compare it to what this looked like even 30 years ago. I think they put this new promenade walk and this all, there's always been a bike path here and pathways, but they upgraded everything maybe 15 years ago, 10.
Oh my god, we were.
Just took a little detour. So this is Chinatown in this area. This is the Center Street Bridge. If you were to turn right on it, you would go right into the Calgary Tower. I have the option of going over or under, and I'm going to go under. I just got to look for pedestrians. And I got to make sure I duck. I don't know how high my camera sticks up. Fire department. Got a few of these little lookouts, like the one to my left there, but there's some bigger ones with benches. I'm gonna stop there and let the camera cool down. I think there's a lookup just ahead. I just touched the camera. It's starting to get a little warm. And to my left over there is Bridgeland. Bridgeland and 4th Avenue flyover. And, oh, peacekeeping officers breaking up campers. I am going to go over here to my left. It almost looks like the deck of a ship. I think that's what they were striving for. So, I'm going to shut everything off for a minute. I'll do a quick 360. So yeah, we're at the very east. Well, I guess now this used to be the east part of downtown, and now they got the East Village, all these condos and high-rises. There's many over there. But Center Street Bridge, Bridgeland is the name of the area. That's Memorial Drive that runs east-west, and Englewood would just be over this way. So we're going to continue heading east. That's where I was just stopping for a minute. And that building is the Calgary Drop-In Center. It's basically, I think it's a step-up program for homeless, you know. But when they built that back in the early 90s, it was a beacon to everybody across Canada. And our homeless population exploded. I mean, I believe in helping them, but that was just like too much. Now they've got safe injection sites and all that bullshit. Looks like a Ramada. So this is the Edmonton Trail. It's this way. The bridge goes into downtown 4th Avenue. Heading towards Englewood. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Englewood though. I might get as far as Fort Calgary and then veer off south towards the Stampede grounds, Lindsay Park, Lower Mount Royal, and home. This is the East Village, they call it. Plenty of development through here now. And this was, along here was a lot of derelict warehouses and yeah. And that's the old Simmons bed factory there. They've repurposed it as Phil and Sebastian's Coffee. Another one of these lookouts. And there's a pedestrian bridge to my left that goes across the river to the path system on the other side. But I'm going to stay on this side. The last time I came through here was with Dad and Dushka, and that would have been either his birthday or Father's Day. Oh geez, it's got to be 15 years, more than 10 years ago anyway, and we pedaled through here, and he was just blown away by how they changed all this, right? There's a lot of wetland stuff over here now. Whew. Trying to find a spot with some shade where I can rest my camera. So Jeff, that photo we had taken of us from the Calgary Tower in 1978, it's that building in the background. And the one we had taken a few days ago of us, we tried to get that building, but it was from the left side because the Calgary Tower is back there. So that building is still there. Not sure what's going on over here. More wetlands, like a big gazebo. Bunch of people in there. Yeah, a lot of times these places like that are just hangouts for the homeless, but I have seen a lot of cops today along here breaking up homeless encampments and stuff, so they just keep coming back. And we're headed towards Fort Calgary. Or this actually is Fort Calgary, or where it was. And this was the first settlement in the city. Now, when I first moved here from Winnipeg, I thought I would see, oh, do we have pelicans over there? Yeah, we do. Wow. Every few years you see them in different areas along the bow. That's a lot of pelicans. I think they're pelicans. Yeah. So anyway, the fort used to be here. When I moved here in '77, they had stumps in the ground representing where the fort was. Now, those barracks that they built, they're not original. I think those were built about 20 years ago. Because they had to have something here other than that interpretive center if they're going to call it Fort Calgary. I'm surprised they haven't built an entire fort, replicated the fort, and they might do that someday. But again, beautiful pedestrian and cycle path, lots of places to sit. Maybe those aren't pelicans, sorry, my mistake, they are seagulls. My distance perception is off, but I know we get pelicans here too a lot. So we're coming up on the district of Inglewood, and this is where the Elbow River dumps into the Bow River, meets the Bow River, and I'll show you that in a second. Here's the Elbow River. Stampede Grounds and Saddle Dome are to my right. And there's the Bow River. Now, if memory serves, that island wasn't there 15 years ago. The flood in 2013 stirred up a lot of boulders and either made whatever islands did exist bigger or created islands such as this. There was always something there, but it was maybe a tent that size. So, and there's downtown. I'm gonna get up here and shut my camera off. And now I'm entering Inglewood, and Ramsay and Scotsman's Hill are just over here. Looks like, wow, this path is open now. The last time I came through here, this was all closed. They were doing construction in here. So I will pedal through here, and this will take me to the Weir. There's not much to see in Inglewood. It's a very trendy neighborhood, much like Kensington. Older neighborhood, lots of shops. It used to be very pocket friendly, but now it's all upscale and they charge $5 for a cup of coffee, that kind of thing. And that would be 9th Avenue that goes through Inglewood. These nice homes here, they're on 8th Avenue. So yeah, for 4 years this was all closed. They had a huge project going on here for sewage, and it looks like they replanted some trees and some grass. Yeah, it was all right here. It was noisy as hell. Just the drilling and the banging, and people that live here must have been driven crazy. Anyway, I'm gonna shut down. I turned her on. I don't have enough battery, and I didn't bring my power block. So I'm gonna hang a left and go through Lindsay Park and back home. So straight ahead of me is Ramsay. Ramsay and Englewood are neighboring communities, and where I just crossed from was Victoria Park, which used to be a neighborhood, but now it's parking lots owned by the Stampede Board. So that's all Ramsay back there. Big neighborhood. Now we're entering the Stampede grounds. And Jeff, you and I were up on Scotsman's Hill that cloudy day, overlooking everything. Now this pathway, they've widened it. It used to run to my right. It was a more narrow asphalt path. Everything was overgrown, very natural. I preferred that. Now they've widened everything and made it open. Yeah, Jeff, you and I would have been just up there. So just on the other side of these trees is the Saddle Dome. There you go. And yeah, I'm gonna go this way. We don't need to cross. But they've just widened all of this. Imagine years ago this was all trees through here. And a pathway running along the river, covered by trees. Yeah. And I think they widened it open like this to kind of sort of curtail criminal activity and stuff like that, part of the reason, but it's very open. There's the stairs that go up. There's the dome. Gotta watch where I'm going. Lots of Saskatoons growing up here. Remember when I lived in Ramsay years ago, I had an elderly neighbor and she used to make jam and pies, and I'd go pick Saskatoons for her. That's almost 40 years ago. There's the grandstand. Downtown's over my right shoulder behind me. Very natural through here. So this is what the original path behind me used to look like. But it had green space where benches were and stuff too. So we used to jump off. There's a cement wall over there, like a retaining wall. We used to jump into the river there when it was high. It was a pool and the water wasn't too turbid there. We used to go fishing here a lot years ago. Usually the water is a lot more clear. It's picked up a lot of sediment. You can usually see the bottom. I skipped the last kilometer or so because I'm running low on battery on my camera. There's downtown, the grandstand, and we're going to be entering Lindsay Park soon, so I'll shut my camera off here in a second. So these paths interconnect. You can get all over the city. There's over 1,000 kilometers of bike path like this in Calgary. Calgary area, I think, is about 800 or 900 square kilometers. And the Saddle Dome is to my right across the river, as is the new convention center. So the Stampede grounds over my right shoulder. Elbow River. They call that MNP Center. It used to be Lindsay Park Aquatic Center, and we are now entering Lindsay Park. Little bridge. That's very nice through here. Beautiful park with lots of picnic tables, which maybe I'll have enough juice to get in there. I got a feeling my camera is going to die. I should have brought my power block. Wow, this river really is high. Usually it's like ankle deep and you can cross. There's actually white water up here. Crazy. Don't see that too often, unless there's a flood. St. Mary's High School to my right. Maybe I got enough juice to buzz around the park here. Picnic areas and all that are to my left. Frisbee golf. Boy, that rain we had this year really made things lush. Winnipeg is also very green, and they usually get a lot more rain than Calgary in the summer. This year was an exception here. Usually July and August are very dry months. I'm gonna zip up over part of this bridge here. I won't go across it. If I took a right on the bridge, I would go to 4th Street. Imagine this water was as high as the bridge deck or higher during the flood. So now anyway, you get the idea. Lots of green space here. To my right is another path system that meanders through here. And that used to be looked after by parks as well, but after the flood they just kind of let it grow wild, put this fence up, and it's like a nature path in there along the river. And they're adding another pool or two to the aquatic center. It's an Olympic-sized facility with running track, gym, everything you could imagine. Huge facility. And the initial building opened up back in 81, I believe, 1981. But now they're doing some major work. Someday I'll do a proper video of this park and surrounding area. For now, I'm just cutting through. But again, this is all part of the Calgary bike path system, right? So see if I can get a shot of the aquatic center. That roof is like a fabric roof, and it's a German design. I don't know how much I can see from here. And I have a story about that in another video that I uploaded. My experience in there back in 1980 while it was under construction. Anyway, I'm gonna head home. That's a convent there, still functioning as a convent. And there's St. Mary's High School. After the flood, they really beefed that parking pad up. There used to be a tire swing down there that we used to swing on. And years ago, this fence wasn't here. I have photos of Dad standing right here with the Calgary Tower behind him. This is an old train station, and I just drove over a bridge that still has railway ties, the original ties. Obviously they raised them to put these concrete pads in. But anyway, now this is the Alberta Ballet. This must have been the station master's house, and it was dilapidated for 40 years. It just sat there, and they fixed it up. Nobody's living in there though. And now we're entering, well, I guess this is downtown is straight ahead. And that's the Alberta Ballet Company, St. Mary's Cathedral Church on my left. And this was all the French settlement, this whole neighborhood, you know, back in the 1800s. But I'm going to turn my camera off now. This is just a little park. Mix of everybody hangs out here. Nothing to see here. Downtown is there. Now I'm traveling northbound on 2nd Street. Downtown is in front of me. More construction. And no, it's not a brick building. Looks brick. I watched it. It's all plywood. That's how they build shit here now. If it's under 6 stories, it's fucking wood. Pardon my French. Fourez-vous. And I'm going to go through Memorial Park. This library was built by Carnegie. Yeah, same as Carnegie Hall. I think there's a library in Winnipeg, Carnegie Library. Same guy built this back in the late 1800s. The library in Winnipeg is not as nice. I mean, it's a similar design, but you can just take one look at this. It still functions as a library. I forget what his first name is. Carnegie, John Carnegie or something. Not Dale Carnegie. Anyway, same Carnegie. Fountains are turned off today. They were on the other day. Not sure why. Oh shit.
We're trying
Just
to get out of your way.
Oh, yeah, the fountains are off. My tire caught a rut. I didn't know they had wood along the sides here.
Ready, set, go!
Oh, there's one fountain running. And this is Memorial Park. It's a war memorial. Straight ahead of me is Sheldon Schumeer Health Center. It used to be a war veterans hospital. There, they tore it down. That was Colonel Belcher Hospital. And here's the cenotaph. I would typically come here every Remembrance Day, as do many in Calgary. We gather here on November 11th. Now, I'm gonna head home. Oh. Straight ahead is Junkieville, this whole block. safe injection site is in this building, and I don't know why they haven't closed it. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I got 1 second to cross.